trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We start with the weather on a bright and sunny summer afternoon. We take a live look outside with our Skycam. Bill Guile is in the Weather Center with your first forecast. Hi, Bill.
Good afternoon, Doreen. Good afternoon, everyone. We are looking at a beautiful day today, getting set for the weekend. Plenty of sunshine out there, and temperatures have been rising quickly through the morning hours. We're up to 89 degrees right now in Providence and Attleboro. As you get over to TF Green, looking about the similar story, 88. Down along the coastline, it's quite warm as well, holding on to low 80s, 83 westerly. Newport at 84 degrees. The beaches are warm. Why is that? Well, the wind direction. It's out of the west. And as we look at the satellite and radar imagery composite combined, hardly find a cloud in the sky, so it's going to be a beauty. If you're heading to the beach this afternoon, well, the tide's coming in. Air temperature is going to be between 82 and 85 degrees, but the water temperature is nice, between 72 and 75. The sea's running about 2 to 3 feet. UV index is quite strong, though, at a 9. Again, the high tide at 2:30 this afternoon. And here's the beach outlook as we go into the weekend. We will see an onshore wind developing for tomorrow and Sunday, and a few more clouds around, but you'll notice more humidity. So yeah, a nice overall summer weekend. We'll look at the rest of your forecast details coming up in just a little bit. Doreen.
All right, Bill, thank you. Now to our top story today. The Rhode Island DEM telling ABC6 that it's likely to announce a campfire ban at all state-run campgrounds, and they're asking private grounds to do the same. This as the state faces worsening drought conditions. In fact, firefighters in Burrillville are back in the woods today to extinguish hotspots from a brush fire there yesterday. Firefighters are now saying that that fire was caused by an unattended campfire. The drought likely playing a role in the quickly spreading flames on Black Hut Road. Firefighters from Gloucester and Massachusetts were brought in to help. The Harrisville fire chief says a ranger working a fire tower in Massachusetts was able to lock down that location.
The forest ranger in the fire tower in Mendon, Mass. looked into Rhode Island and was able to pinpoint the fire location. The Rhode Island fire towers are no longer manned. This is a time and conditions that we could use them manned. But
an estimated 2 acres of land burned in the fire, but there were no injuries or damage to any property. And the Massachusetts State Fire Marshal is investigating a fire that ripped through a warehouse in Dudley last night. You can see those flames coming through the roof. At one point, firefighters had to get out of the building because of the extreme and hazardous conditions. Officials say the building contained industrial materials. No injuries were reported. Well, it is Your Voice, Your Vote 2022, and with Rhode Island's primary election now less than a month away, the state is gearing up and showing off some new technology aimed at making the voting process a lot easier. ABC6 News reporter Natalie Norrie is live in the newsroom with more. Natalie.
Hi, Doreen. The Secretary of State's office holding a demonstration this morning for a new voting device that's making it easier for Rhode Islanders to cast their ballots ahead of the primary in September. With primary day fast approaching in Rhode Island, the Secretary of State's office showing off some new technology Friday that it claims will help make the voting process easier this year. This express vote machine is taking the traditional way of voting and making it a little more modern, featuring a touchscreen monitor that's easy to use for everyone.
I think it's great. I think that people who want to be able to vote privately and independently are able to do so without anyone's assistance, which is the point.
The machine makes voting in private easier and more direct, but it also offers options that accommodate those who have difficulty reading or seeing, as well as other features.
Anyone can use it, but voters who have either visual impairments or mobility issues are able to use this machine to mark their ballot in private and independently without the help of anybody else.
And what they say is a simple process. All you have to do is insert a blank ballot, select your votes on the screen, and then it's printed out for you to turn in.
If you're going to use the paper and pen method where you mark your ballot with a pen, or if you use this machine, the point is to be able to mark your ballot in private without anybody's help. And that's why these machines are great, because it allows anybody to use them to do that exact thing.
And the vote registration and disaffiliation deadline has passed. But if you plan on voting through the mail September 13th, that registration deadline is next Tuesday by 4 o'clock. Reporting in the newsroom, Natalie Norrie, ABC6 News.
All right, Natalie, thank you. And Republican governor hopeful Ashley Kalis opening a new field office in Tiverton tomorrow. The first Republican field office ever opened on Rhode Island's East Bay. Kalis currently has a field office on Bald Hill Road in Warwick. She's running against Jonathan Riccitelli in the Republican primary for governor and was endorsed by the Rhode Island GOP in June. Her new field office will be located on Main Road. It officially opens at 2 o'clock tomorrow. And with the primary less than a month away, what will the next governor do to ensure the well-being of our youngest children? Children's Friend and Right from the Start campaign teaming up with us here at ABC6 to ask the candidates about issues impacting our kids. I'll be moderating this event. It's coming up August 23rd. If you'd like to be a part of it in person or virtually, details to register up on our website, abc6.com. And now to today's other headlines. 3 men are now facing charges in the death of James Whitey Bulger, nearly 4 years after he was killed in prison. Bulger, the leader of the Winter Hill Gang, died in 2018 after being hit in the head multiple times by 2 other inmates at a federal penitentiary in West Virginia. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Fotios Gias and Paul J. Colagero were charged with murder and assault charges. Both are still in the prison system. The third charge, John McKinnon, was on supervised release before being arrested in Florida yesterday. The Rhode Island Department of Health is sending out notifications for monkeypox vaccine appointments. Eligible Rhode Islanders can sign up to be notified when vaccine appointments become available. You can get those notifications sent to your email or right to your phone. A spokesperson says you can go to the health department's website to sign up for those notifications. At last check, Rhode Island reported 33 cases of monkeypox. And still to come here on ABC6 News at noon, the final part of ABC6's one-on-one with the superintendent of Woonsocket Schools, how he plans to improve school safety. Plus, the new training for school resource officers in Fall River, a demonstration of a new weapons detector. And details on local school supply drives taking place this weekend. We're counting down to the start of the new school year, and today we wrap up our 3-part conversation with Woonsocket School Superintendent Dr. Patrick McGee. We covered a number of topics in our sit-down, mostly focusing on school safety. The school district had multiple arrests last year after threats and a large fight at the high school, forcing multiple lockdowns. Dr. McGee tells us that the work to keep his school safe started immediately after those incidents. He calls it a multifaceted approach that includes the teen mental health first aid practice at Woonsocket High School, We talked about that yesterday. And the first of its kind in the state, which is basically trained students helping to support their peers. And it's really the basis for the school district's efforts, communication, and building stronger relationships.
You know, if there was an incident that maybe the administration or the teachers were not aware of and the students were aware of, you know, the students would reach out to an adult, let them know, or even just communicate with their peers and say, hey, look, you know, you really need to see an adult about this before it gets out of control or gets out of hand. We're also going to be training peer mentors at the high school, and this is sort of exclusive of the mental health first aid. We have our upperclassmen that are trained to support and act as peer mentors for underclassmen. So we're going to continue to do that at the high school.
And on the topic of school resource officers, they will remain same as last year, one at each middle school in the district, one at Woonsocket High School, then another roving SRO who can be used anywhere. And speaking of school resource officers in Fall River, they'll have even more training under their belt when the school year starts in a few weeks. That's because they've been working hand in hand with the Bristol County Sheriff's Office this summer to learn how to handle potentially dangerous situations. ABC6 News reporter Hector Molina has more.
Like many schools in southern New England, the Fall River public school system is doing everything they can to keep their students safe in the fall. The Bristol County Sheriff's Department recently graduated a group of 18 school security officers that will serve area schools of all grade levels. A program that focuses on facility security, suicide prevention, weapon searches, emergency first aid, and other topics. While the program has been running for over a decade, Bristol County Sheriff Thomas Hodgson said there was more importance with this summer's class.
Well, given the way we've seen more and more violence going on and more situations in schools and other places, it's never been more important for us to make sure that we're doing everything we can to prepare these individuals.
Now, one of the more impressive pieces of machinery Fall River schools are using to keep their students safe is a weapons detector. Yes, a weapons detector, not a metal detector. In Fall River, School's Director of Safety, Joe Correa, showed us how it works.
Piece of metal, but it's the shape of a gun. It's the heaviest gun, and it's the same kind of metal that would be on a gun. So if you put this on you, anywhere on you,
Put this in my back pocket.
walking through, it picked it up. Security looks at where it's at on your person, and we can tell it's in the front. So we'd be asking you to empty out your pockets.
We also asked Correa what other ways they plan to keep students safe. Correa mentioned many other methods that include increased attention on all doorways across the school.
Every doorway has somebody there. There's no reason to think that anybody can actually get into this building. Not while we're here. There's no way.
Hector Molina, ABC6 News.
Tomorrow, Bridgepoint Church and the East Providence School District are hosting a back-to-school fair at Martin Middle School. The annual back-to-school event provides kids with a new backpack and school supplies selected by the school department. Kids can also get dental and vision screenings done. Students heading into kindergarten through 5th grade in East Providence are invited to attend. It starts at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And the Rhode Island State Police are asking for donations for their Kids, Cops, and Classroom Supply Drive. They're looking for any and all school supplies this year, including backpacks, number 2 pencils, pens, and calculators. The supplies will be given to local agencies that work with families in need throughout the state. Donation collections end tomorrow. You can bring them to any state or local police departments and to any Cardi's location. Still to come here on ABC6 News at noon, we're going to check in with Bill Guile for the weekend forecast and our next chance of any rain. We'll be right back.
Good afternoon, everyone. We've got a beautiful summer day underway, but we want to talk about the drought situation that has been updated as of yesterday. And we now find that the entire state of Rhode Island, with the exception of Block Island, is now under an extreme drought situation. So what does that mean, really, for Rhode Islanders? Well, really what starts to happen is the fire danger threat increases. Everything's really dried out, the lawns and everything. There's just so much timber now. It's all just gone bone dry. Speaking of which, a lot of smaller rivers and streams are also beginning to run very low or begin to dry up. And of course, we also see some of the wells beginning to dry up. So there's concerns there. And wildlife can actually start to produce or incur disease. So yeah, this is a very tough situation. We need to get some water. There is some coming next week. So maybe we can put a little scratch in the surface here. But right now, like I said, it's a beautiful day out there. 88 degrees, just a few cloud puffs around. Dew point is nice and comfortable with us, sitting into the 50s right now. In fact, the entire region has dew points in the 50s. So for the summertime, yeah, that's nice, comfortable air, despite the fact that the temperature is approaching 90 degrees. And as we take a look across the area, we find almost all checkpoints currently at this hour in the upper 80s. Even out towards the Cape, Hyannis is at 87 degrees, Provincetown 82, Chatham 84. Along the entire south coast of Rhode Island as well, we're sitting right around 83 or 84 degrees. And we're going to get it to about 85 or 86 this afternoon. Around the rest of the country, look at the temperatures at this hour. Notice that we are kind of right now at this time, the hot spot in the contiguous 48 states. How about that? Well, beautiful day here. There's more clouds off to the south and west, so it's just very humid down here. It feels hotter than it actually is. And this little system is going to skirt along the Gulf Coast region. High pressure is in control of the eastern seaboard for now. So basically what that means for us this weekend is we're going to be looking at basically dry conditions. This will be our next weather maker. Not a lot going on with it right now. As it approaches, we'll be seeing some activity developing for next week. I'll show you that in just a moment. But right now, let's focus in on what is going to be controlling our weekend forecast. And high pressure will be drifting south of the area through the overnight tonight, so we'll stay comfortable through this evening, but the mugginess will begin to creep up a little bit as we go on into tomorrow afternoon, especially. Winds becoming more southwesterly. And then we go into Sunday, and those winds turn a little more southeast, so that'll actually cool the temperatures back a little bit in Rhode Island, but it'll still be a very muggy day. Notice where the storm system is now. It's moving through the Ohio Valley. And you see a scattering of showers and thunderstorm activity. So this is what I'm looking at that'll be moving in here for early next week, especially Monday and Tuesday. So let's play this through in time for you, how things are going to evolve through the weekend. Hot day today, right around 90 degrees with the exception along the south coast, and basically mainly sun-filled skies. Overnight tonight, a few clouds passing by, pleasantly mild, into the 60s. Tomorrow, another hot day, similar to today. This model continues to produce the idea that there may be an isolated shower or rumble of thunder. I think it is going to be strictly a hit-or-miss thing. Dry begets dry, so don't hold your breath that we get a whole lot, but I can't completely rule it out that we may not see a brief shower pop up. Then we go into Sunday morning. There'll be some fog coming in. There may be a little touch of mist in the air to start the day off with temperatures in the 60s, but for the afternoon, with that southeasterly wind, not quite as hot, but still very muggy, 77 to 85 degrees. Then we get into Monday and Tuesday with that storm system approaching with scattered afternoon and evening showers from Monday night and on into early Tuesday. We'll take whatever we can get, and then perhaps another round of scattered showers or storms later Tuesday into Wednesday. Highs will be low and mid-80s. That's your latest forecast. Doreen?
All right. Bill, thank you. Still to come here on the news at noon. Apple's warning to customers why it says to update your device today. And now you can chat with your favorite celeb. Details on Cameo's latest offering. In consumer news today, a warning for Apple customers. iPhones, iPads, and Mac users are being told to update their devices amid news of a flaw that could allow hackers to take over. Basically, that intruder could impersonate you, the device owner, and run any software in your name. The company has not said how many people may have been affected, but that update is available now. Cameo Live is a new way for fans to chat with their favorite celebrities. It offers 10-minute video calls and allows you to invite up to 9 friends and family members to be involved as well. The cost depends on who you're chatting with. And for the first time ever, people streaming their favorite shows outnumbered those who watch broadcast or cable. The most recent figures show streaming services drew nearly 35% of viewers. Cable had just over 34%, and broadcast TV with only 22%. Well, Chipotle has found a cheeky way to celebrate National Lemonade Day. It's tomorrow, August 20th. For a limited time, people can buy a lemon-scented candle in a Chipotle water cup. It's a tip of the cap to beverage theft. Chipotle is well aware of customers who ask for a no-cost cup of water to then fill it with lemonade at the beverage station. The promotional candles are available on Chipotle's website for $28. And as an added bonus, each candle comes with a unique promo code for a legit free lemonade. Still to come here on ABC6 News at noon, Patriots preseason. A look ahead to tonight's game against the Panthers. Host Bill has a look at your afternoon forecast. Stay with us. Back now with some Patriots news. A big night at Gillette tonight. The Patriots playing the Panthers in preseason football. ESPN is reporting that Mac Jones and most of the healthy players will play for a bit. Now, this game coming after the teams had joint practices this week and fights broke out both days. So should be an interesting night tonight. ABC6 sports reporter Ian Steele will be live in Foxborough starting first at 4. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Looking forward to that one.
And it's going to be a great evening.
Yes.
Yeah, in fact, temperatures will still be in the 80s when they kick off that. Yeah, so it's going to be a very nice night tonight, pleasantly mild. We're having high temperatures today, top off around 90 across much of the region. Will be similar tomorrow, but there'll be more clouds around and just a remote chance of an isolated shower. Strictly hit or miss. Don't count on it really happening. I look for it to basically stay dry. Some of the mugginess does come in through the weekend, but it's much more humid next week as a storm system finally moves in our direction and will eventually perhaps give us some scattered showers. Perhaps the thunderstorms late afternoon or evening Monday night into Tuesday morning, and same story again on Tuesday into early Wednesday.
All right, so still a few more days before we get any of that rain.
Yeah, it looks that way.
All right, Bill, thank you. And thank you for joining us for ABC6 News at noon. The news continues first at 4. Have a great rest of the weekend.